Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today we've got a break from the norm. I've got a little Vauxhall Corsa 2018 model. The car wanders all over the road. It drives like you're driving in a heavy crosswind. So without further ado, let's get it jacked up and let's look at the suspension and the steering components. Okay, so we've got the vehicle jacked up and it's safely on axle stands. The car itself, the tyre pressures are all okay all round, 32 psi all round. The tracking has been checked, camber and caster. I'll show you the printout there. So we've got it jacked up and let's have a quick look. So the tyres, not the triers. Tyres, not got a tread depth gauge here. Doing this in my driveway, proper DIY, no special tools, no nice ramps or workshop. Tyres themselves, sidewalls, evidence a little bit of cracking, maybe something to consider, a little bit of a cut there. Tread depth, I would estimate there's the 2mm marker bars, so we're going to look at about 3.5 to 4mm tread. So let's give the steering suspension a shake. Let's see if we can find anything. So I'll just put the camera down. So there's the suspension leg, shock absorber and spring. So let's go top to bottom. Oh dear, looks like there's a lot of play there in the top strut bearing. Don't know if you can see that on camera. Let's reposition it. You can definitely hear it squeaking, and hopefully on camera you can see the movement. So we're definitely going to need a strut top mounting. From that point, really at the moment I can't check ball joints or track rod ends or anything like that because of the play in the strut top bearing. So let's get the wheel off and let's get it changed. Okay, the wheel is now off. Looking at the suspension shock absorber, looks like it's a straightforward removal. 2 pinch bolts holding the shock absorber to the hub. Got to take out the holder for the brake caliper Flexi and the ABS sensor. And possibly the worst part of the job may be anti-roll bar link. May take a little bit of getting off. Hopefully if I can just spray some penetrating fluid and clean the threads up, it will spin straight off with the electric gun. The top mount looks like it's going to be underneath this plastic scuttle panel, so I will need to take off the wiper arms on both sides and lift this panel off. So let's get this done. One 13mm headed nut. Gonna be a bit rough now. There we go. I think there's a washer on the top. There is. So that's the driver's arm off. So that's both the arms off. With this plastic scuttle panel out the way, now exposes all the cobwebs and the strut top mounting nut. That was lucky. 16mm head. Next task, remove the ABS sensor harness out of the holder. Just like that, nice and simple. And then the brake flexi. Okay, that was a little bit rough. It's sacrificial, or it is now anyway, because it just fell off. So let's get the flexi out. Just like that. Next task is to remove the nuts from these pinch bolts. I'll leave one of them in, because when I come to undo the top mounting, it's going to all drop down. So again, a little bit of spray. Okay, that's them loosened off, so we know then if I put a spanner on the other end, they will come out okay. Next job is remove the nut holding the strut top and the strut itself to the body. That's an 18mm, so let's get some spray on that and get it zapped off. And finally, we can remove the two pinch bolts. And that is the shock absorber out. Next procedure is to compress the spring using my trusty old clan tools. That's probably something from years ago for many people, not Chinese crap. And we're going to compress the spring. It's probably been 20 years since I've last used this. Oops, someone's pulling up, so let's give it a go. So we've got the spring clamp on. Unfortunately I've got no vice or anything useful. I'm working in my driveway, so we're going to compress. Right, that's compressed enough, I think. So let's now undo the nut here. So let's just turn that round. Undo that, facing away from me. So I'll just turn the camera off and reposition it. Okay, so got 18mm there. That's a 9mm. So let's go the right way, Steve. Oh, let's crack that off. Oops, caught the camera. So now I should be able to zap that off. That's all good. And let's take off. So there we go. That is the offending item. So let's go get the new one. I've already pre-ordered one because I knew what the problem was. So here's the new one. It's a 2-part kit, just fits back on like that. So let's get it back on. That's nice and tight. So now we'll undo the spring clamp, making sure everything sits back again nicely, that the spring's located in the bottom there. Okay, so that's the spring clamp removed. Spring is all nice and located where it should be. So let's get it fitted back on the car. So I've just offered the shock absorber up through the body mount there, and then just loosely fitted the nut so it keeps it in place. And I can then put the shock absorber back in the hub. That's one. And that's two. Really do with a long socket on this, but unfortunately don't have one. So once again, I'll put the 18mm and the 9mm. That's nice and tight. So now we can start rebuilding the vehicle. So we'll nip up the bolts and the nuts on the hub. To 5 Duggers VFT. There we go, that's nice and tight. We can then put the ABS harness back in there. This is a bit tight. I'll get that back in. There we go, that's in. Unfortunately the little clip got damaged. We can now put the anti-roll bar drop link back onto the shock absorber. Hopefully it'll tighten up without spinning. There we go, nice and tight. So that's it guys, put the wheel back on and we'll give it a road test. So that's the wheel back on. I'll just take it off the axle stand, torque the wheel up, then we've got to put the scuttle panel back on and the wiper arms. Okay, so we've got the car all built up. Wipers are back on and the scuttle panel's back on. Unfortunately, I didn't film that. So we're going to go give it a try now. Give it a drive, see if it's any better. So we'll just start her up. And, ooh, tyre pressure warning lights on. Looks like the driver's side front. Let's see. Okay, so we've got 30 all round, apart from the driver's side front, which is 28. So let's go get them pumped up and give it a genuine road test and see if it's any better. So I've just reset the tyre pressures, 32 all round. Not turned the light out yet, so I'm just going to reverse the car out the driveway. Straight away I can hear that the knocking noise that it did have has disappeared. So we're just reversing up. Straight away I can feel a difference. Steering feels a little bit more tighter. It would have knocked around about now, so that's good. It's not knocked there. So we'll get out onto the open road and see how it feels. There is a section coming up where when I just turn a slight bend and I brake coming up to a roundabout, it does want to snatch the steering wheel out of my hand. So we'll get that approached and see if it's any different. So far it's feeling more positive, not quite as susceptible to the changes in the camber. I think it's pretty much fixed it. I'll know better tomorrow going to work, because I'll get above 60 miles an hour. But we're approaching the roundabout now, where there's some changes in the camber, a little bit of road works, and when I press the brakes, yep, it's not snatching the steering out of my hand. Free for all at this roundabout. So if I put the right wheel, usually on these little bits of road repairs, which hopefully you can see, it does tend to want to do that all the way down the road. It still pulls to the passenger side, so I'm probably going to have to get the tracking readjusted or rechecked and readjusted. But yeah, I'm going to put that down as a fix. So thanks for watching, guys.